Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick video on how to draw the respiratory volumes and capacities. So it's very similar to the one we already have in the book, but of course looking at it and drawing it, when you draw it, it kind of sticks a little better. So if anyone's interested, here we go. So we're going to start with the rectangle, same one as the book shows. And then inside of our rectangle, somewhere about midway, we're going to do a dotted line straight across. Two dotted lines, actually. That's one dotted line. We'll do another one very close beneath it. And then we'll do one more third dotted line very close to the bottom. Alright, so that pretty much concludes all of the artistic portion of it. Now it's just a matter of identifying what we're looking at here. So first, assume that going up is to breathe in and going down is to breathe out, right? So inspiratory, expiratory. All right, so if you keep that in mind, now we can kind of look at the rest of it here. I'm gonna do it in a different color. Hopefully it shows in the video. All right, so first in the very center, we can kind of just do a wave. And the wave is not just directly across like that. It has all type of fluctuation, but that's not important to memorizing these steps. So the fluctuation inside, we're going to call it tidal volume. Hope we can see that in red. Tidal volume. So as soon as you do your rectangle, you do your dotted lines, right away you put TV inside. So we know that's our tidal volume. We're going to do all of the volumes first. So we said going up is inspiratory reserves, right? So anything else that you can breathe in up besides tidal volume is going to be your inspiratory reserve volumes, right? Anything that you can breathe out besides your tidal volume is going to be expiratory reserve volume. Now there's always going to be an amount of volume that you cannot breathe out, and we learned that in class. We call it residual volume. Right, so we got all of our volumes out of the way. We have our normal breathing in and out tidal volumes, we have our inspiratory reserves, we have our expiratory reserves, and then we even have a little bit of residual that always stays behind, right? So now let's look at some of the capacities. So the first capacity I like to look at is our vital capacity, right? Which is, we'll do a red line from here all the way down here. And then we're going to call that vital capacity. So then right away, if we wanted to know what all does vital capacity include, well, let's take a look at our chart. Vital capacity has IRV, TV, and ERV, but not RV, right? Not residual volume. So we can say IRV plus TV plus ERV. So right away, just by looking at our chart during testing, we'll be able to identify exactly what vital capacity requires to calculate. Okay, so the next one that we can look at is the inspiratory capacity, which you can see it goes down to the second dotted line. So now all we have to do is determine what's all included in our inspiratory capacity. So we can see that we have IRV and TV, right? Vital capacity plus your inspiratory reserve volumes collectively is what makes inspiratory capacity. So IRV plus TV, and that's how you would calculate that number. Okay, I can tell right away that the glare is going to be in the way, but I hope at least you can hear me. And okay, so the next one we're going to make it from here to here, and we're going to call it the functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity. I'm going to put it up here since I don't see any glare up here. So functional residual capacity. So we have to take a look. It involves ERV plus RV. So that's it. That's our calculation. ERV plus residual volume. And then lastly, what if we wanted to look at the entire thing? So we'll do a line from up here to down here. And this is the one that's kind of tricky because there is a lot of things included. Oh, I didn't put IC here. So that was inspiratory capacity. Okay, so what if we wanted to look at the entire thing, which by the way we call total lung capacity? Well, there's a lot of different things that we can factor into it, but the simplest one is if you look at vital capacity, it takes up almost everything, for the exception of the residual volume. So these two would actually be the better, right? Can we technically say TLC can be calculated by getting the IRV and the TV and the ERV and the RV together? Yes, but what is the simplest way of calculating it? By getting the vital capacity and the residual volume. So we're going to say that TLC equals RV plus vital capacity, right? So during the test, one of two things that we can do. We can either memorize all of the formulas and functions of the volumes and capacities, or we can really quickly do a rectangle with a couple of dotted lines and then just add the terms next to it, and we can kind of relax a little bit during the test, knowing that these answers or these questions will be answered, right? I hope this helps. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.